is going to be a little bit different of a video. I was going through some old boxes and I came across some pictures in an old photo album of me back in my military army days. And I really started to reminisce a little as I kind of paged through the photo album, looking at all these old pictures of me. It was so long ago, and I was, of course, much younger. But one picture in particular really brought me back. It was taken on a day that I'll never forget. Back then, in the Army, I was on the funeral detail, and I was stationed on the East Coast, and so we would travel around different states, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, New York, and when a veteran had passed away, we would do the funerals. You know, the 21 gun salute, the folding of the flag, and all of that. And it was one day when we were traveling to do a funeral, and as we traveled, our staff sergeant gave us the details on who we were burying that day. In this case, it was a young 19-year-old soldier who was driving home to surprise his mom. This was in Virginia. And as he was driving, it was late at night and he fell asleep at the wheel. He drove right into a tree and he was instantly killed. Now, I was myself 20 years old at the time, so it was a little eerie to hear this. Such a young man. In fact, most of us on the detail were pretty much in our early 20s, so this one was really kind of sobering to think about. Well, we arrived, and this location was just packed with people. Now, this soldier had a large family and friends. It seemed like the whole town turned out. And of course, there were many there who were crying and consoling one another, and it was already very hard to witness. But as the funeral began, we did our duties and we did the salute. There were some words spoken by the pastor and some other people. And I saw the mother sitting close to the coffin. And as time passed, she just deteriorated more and more. And then as it came to the time when the two select folded the flag, and they finished folding it, and then the staff sergeant kneeled before the mother and he presented her with the flag. By now, the mother was just inconsolable as she accepted the flag. The immediate family tried to comfort her, but it was of little use. My team and I, we were sitting just a few rows back and just watching this mother sob, just sobbing uncontrollably, and her wails grew louder and louder. Now I, as a young man, even then I just felt the tears streaming down my face as she mourned so very desperately for her son. And all of our team, by now, we were just outright crying. Back then it seemed like it would be a little embarrassing, but the emotion was just so heavy at that place. It was just, wow, I just didn't have the words, and it was so hard to watch. And as the flag was presented to her, the mother just lost it, and she stood up and she rushed to the casket in an effort to reach her son. And it was just so hard to witness, and I just can't imagine how she felt. Only God knows the anguish that she was feeling in this moment. And by now, just about everybody there had just lost composure, and it was multiplied in watching this dear mother mourn loudly for her son. Some of the team had to stand up and walk away because of the emotion of seeing all this. And guys don't want to be seen crying. This was pretty brutal to watch. I wanted so bad to comfort that mother, but I knew, even as I was just a stranger to her, that there was absolutely nothing I could do for her. So I just sat, watched, and endured the rest of the funeral. And I'll just never forget that day. The pain of losing a loved one is like nothing else. Most of us have gone through it, and if you haven't yet, you will. There's nothing that can prepare you for it. All we can do is just give it all to Jesus Christ. He is the only one who can bring us through all of it, and He is the only one that can heal us. As we drove back home that day in our van, very little was spoken. I can't speak for the others, but I know that particular moment stayed with me even unto this day. Life is just so short. In the book of James, chapter 4, in verse 14, it says, "Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away." Tell your loved ones that you love them. Tell them often. I've got a wife and I've got a daughter who are faithful, loving, and fiercely loyal. And I tell them daily that I love them. And I thank my God for giving them to me. Do the same, sisters and brothers. We don't know when one of our loved ones will be taken away. We don't know when you might be taken home. With all the madness and the hatred in the world, we have to remember to love and to show that love. God bless you all, brothers and sisters.